Right now, in the world outside this beautiful campus, troubled waters are slamming against some of our most fundamental principles. Support for freedom of speech is declining dangerously, especially where it should find broadest and widest acceptance. In a book called The Idea of a University, St. John Henry Newman saw the university as a place for reasoned debate. Today, very few colleges live up to that ideal. This place is one of the few that does, and you are very fortunate to have had that experience. Religious liberty is also threatened. When you venture out into the world, you may find yourself in a job or a community or a social setting where you will be pressured to endorse ideas you don't believe or to abandon core beliefs. It will be up to you to stand firm, and as Bishop Caggiano said last night, it will be up to you to speak out.
This is Michael Popok, Legal AF. How ironic that Sam Alito is bemoaning the First Amendment under attack at a speech to a Catholic university right before the New York Times outed him and his wife as flying an upside-down Stop the Steal flag 11 days after Jan 6th, while the United States Supreme Court was hearing argument as to whether they were going to accept a 2020 election challenge case, a case that he ruled in favor of taking in favor of Donald Trump, while all along a flag that is the symbol of the protest movement and the Stop the Steal movement and the pro-Trump movement is flying at his house. Now, how did we not know about that before? I don't know, but the New York Times knows about it now and published a breaking piece with a photo, which we'll play here or show here, of the upside down flag. That's not by accident. I mean, some commentators were suggesting, well, maybe it's a deep fake, or maybe they just hung the flag the wrong way. Nope, it was purposeful. It was done as a protest by a sitting United States Supreme Court justices and their family over what they claim to be some sort of First Amendment right in their neighborhood about neighbors who were posting some things outside their home that they found distasteful. So a United States Supreme Court justice and his family, who's supposed to be apolitical, is going to fly the upside down American flag, SOS, America under attack, Stop the Steal? Come on. And for Sam Alito, who's always, why is he among the nine always in the thick of controversy right when we're waiting on major decisions on abortion, gun control, and of course, whether Donald Trump is going to be immune from criminal prosecution? Why is it that we're waiting right there, just like the Dobbs decision 2 years ago? Sam Alito, there has to be some sort of crisis or ethical conflict related to Sam Alito. Now, I know the United States Supreme Court just passed its first ethics code just about 6 or 8 months ago. I think this violates it, don't you, Justice Alito? And to blame your wife, that is really the ultimate brave and chivalrous thing to do. When Sam Alito reached out to the New York Times, he told them that he had no idea that flag was flying. It was all his wife's idea, and it was in response to something a neighbor did. Boy, that's honorable. I know you pride yourself on your Catholic core values. I'm not sure that's one of them. Look, this explains a lot. We've always suspected it. Sam Alito has been very, very public in his ridiculing his critics in a way that I've never seen a United States Supreme Court justice do before. I mean, he is the author of the Dobbs decision, which ripped away a constitutional right of a woman to choose and have bodily autonomy that she had for over 50 years under Roe versus Wade. And he didn't just do it in a way that made him feel bad or made him feel, well, I'm sorry we have to do this. He was gleeful about it. He was happy about it. He's mocking his critics as soon as he got off American soil and did one of his junkets to Europe, where he appeared in front of a University of Notre Dame religious forum sporting a COVID beard. Let's take a listen to what he did then when he thought nobody in America was watching.
I had the honor this term of writing, I think, the only Supreme Court decision in the history of that institution that has been lambasted by a whole string of foreign leaders who felt perfectly fine commenting on American law. One of these was former Prime Minister Boris Johnson, but he paid the price. Post hoc ergo propter hoc, right? But others are still in office. President Macron and Prime Minister Trudeau, I believe, are too. But what really wounded me was when the Duke of Sussex addressed the United Nations and seemed to compare the decision, whose name may not be spoken, with the Russian attack on Ukraine.
So he didn't do it with a heavy heart, take away a woman's right to choose. Just like I'm sure he didn't have a problem throwing his wife under the bus in front of the New York Times. Talk about a hospital pass. That's when the quarterback throws a pass over the middle and the receiver is laid out and ends up in the hospital. Well, he just sent one to his wife. I mean, there's no justification in blaming your wife or that the dog ate your flag is not going to do it. There is no justification for flying the flag of protest and stop the steal while you are a United States Supreme Court member, while there are cases in front of the court involving Donald Trump, while you are on and voting in the minority to take cases involving the election and potential fraud. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, and stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, antibacterial bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent up to 99.7% of bacteria growth and require up to 3 times less laundry. Using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA, Miracle Made sheets are thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long, so you get better sleep every night. These sheets are infused with silver that prevent up to 99.7% of bacterial growth, leaving them to stay cleaner and fresh 3 times longer than other sheets. No more gross odors. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping on bacteria. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf to try Miracle Made sheets today. And whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use our promo LegalAF at checkout, you'll get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. Miracle is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you aren't 100% satisfied, you'll get a full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/legalaf and use the code LegalAF to claim your free 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/legalaf to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. We know now from the Jan 6 committee, year-long research, the Department of Justice and other independent reports, that the 2020 election was the most fair, was the most secure in our history. That's not my words. That's the cybersecurity chief that was fired by Donald Trump. That's the Department of Justice when it was headed by people that weren't Trump's lackeys. That's the Jan 6 committee. That's every federal judge that's taken a look at the issue. That's 70 lawsuits against Donald Trump on these very issues that continue through to today. So let's just stop with the nonsense that there was fraud in the election, there was outcome determinative, because there was not. But the fact that a United States Supreme Court justice thought it was okay. I mean, even if you blame your wife, and even if you have a black car pick you up, you don't look on your front lawn and see the flag. I mean, an upside down flag is pretty hard to miss. You know, like, and maybe you phone back from the car, honey, did you put the flag upside down? Do you think that's a good thing to do while I'm a United States Supreme Court justice with a lifetime appointment and at that moment not subject to an ethics code? I already have enough troubles, babe. Can't you take it down? He acts like, you know, he acts like he was bushwhacked by his wife. Is he blind also? I know Justice is blind. Is Alito blind? He couldn't see his front lawn and a giant flag on a pole. By the way, I'm not talking about like a tiny flag you'll kind of wave around in a 4th of July or Memorial Day parade. It's a giant flag. I have one at my office. That's like a 20-foot flag waving upside down on his lawn. And I love his initial reaction. Blame the wife. Did the wife also leak the Dobbs decision? Should we blame her for that? When that Dobbs decision came out in draft and therefore, hardened all the positions and took away a woman's right to choose over politics on the court, was that somebody's wife? And what is it with the wives of Supreme Court justices? I mean, why don't we just get rid of Clarence Thomas and Sam Alito and put the wives on there? Why don't we put Ginny Thomas? She seems to be the puppeteer anyway, the puppet master. Why don't we just cut out the middleman and put her directly on the United States Supreme Court in a robe? Maybe that'll happen if Trump is restored to the presidency. Why don't we do the same thing with his wife, Martha Ann? Why don't we put Martha Ann Alito and Ginny Thomas up there and take off Sam and Clarence? They seem to have more brass than their husbands. At least they're saying out loud and admitting it. I haven't heard from Martha Ann Alito yet, or how stable that marriage is at this point. But what is it with the wives? I get that they have their own independent existence and being and First Amendment rights, but why do they always have to be on the wrong side of democracy and our republic? Why do they have to be on the other side, on fascism and on trying to overturn the will of the people? I don't want to know about the wives of Supreme Court justices. I don't want to even know what Chief Justice Roberts' wife's name is, although I do, because she's a headhunter and a recruiter in the law business that's made millions and millions of dollars for the Roberts family by placing people in law firms who have business before the court. See, I know about her too. But why? Why do I need to know about these people? They should be completely innocuous and inert, but they're not. They're not. Do I really believe that Martha Ann Alito put that flag up without Sam Alito knowing about it? No. But the fact that he would blame her is just so, I don't know what it takes for people to vote against the Republican position, but here's another example, another data point for how, I like my party's dignified, respectful of women. I like women to be equal in my world and in my life. Not apparently to MAGA, not apparently to the Supreme Court justices. So look, upside down flag, did it confirm? It only confirmed suspicions we've always had about Sam Alito, right? That as soon as he got the numbers, he got more right-wing justices appointed to the United States Supreme Court, that they would start effing around with our constitutional rights. And now as we're waiting this term, it's only May, we're waiting. Yes, all the oral arguments in the briefing are done. Now that's all that's left is the decisions. We're waiting on major decisions before they go on their next set of junkets to Europe, paid for by supporters and right-wing MAGA like Clarence Thomas, and buy him RVs, for $300,000 and don't make him repay the loan, and send him on millions of dollars worth of junkets before they go away on their summer vacation. What did you do on your summer vacation? The justices are about to issue decisions about abortion again, about gun rights again, and about whether Donald Trump is going to see the inside of a courtroom to be held accountable for his conspiracy to interfere with the election. Just those kind of cases. Not fundamental to our fabric of our morals and our being and our republic. Just, guns, abortion, and, criminal presidents. And now I got to learn that Sam Alito's flying the upside down flag of SOS America. Stop the steal. Come on, step down off the bench. Sounds like I'm challenging him. Step down off the bench and go become a First Amendment private citizen. You can do whatever you want. You can go into whatever Republican right-wing think tank you want, but you can't do it when you're on the United States Supreme Court. And of course, Chief Justice Roberts, who only speaks publicly like once a year when he gives his State of the Court address, never talks about anything that's relevant. He's reached for comment by the New York Times and declines. You got an ethics code. Is this up to the ethics code? It wouldn't be for a federal judge that wasn't on the United States Supreme Court. So I challenge Chief Justice Roberts to do something about it. and not take "my wife did it, my dog ate my flag" as the response. We'll continue to follow all of these matters that are important at the intersection of law and politics on Legal AF and on the MeidasTouch network. If you like this kind of update and analysis by a lawyer who knows what he's talking about, then join us on Wednesdays and Saturdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on a show we call Legal AF. Now you know why we call it Legal AF. We sit at that intersection of law and politics, so you don't have to. We curate the top 4 or 5 stories and bring it to you there and on audio podcast platforms, wherever you get audio podcasts from. And then we bring you updates like this on our network exclusively right here. You like what I'm doing? I'm Michael Popok. Slide over to YouTube, MeidasTouch, look under contributors or playlists. You'll find my entire body of work. Give me a thumbs up and a comment here. It helps with the ratings. So until my next hot take, until my next Legal AF, this is Michael Popok on the road reporting.
Heary, heary, Legal AF Law Breakdown is now in session. Go beyond the headlines and get a deep dive into the important legal concepts you need to know and we discuss every day on Legal AF. Exclusive content you won't find anywhere else, all for the price of a couple of cups of coffee. Join us at patreon.com/legalaf. That's patreon.com/legalaf.